Most accurate forecast with Thomas Geboy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
Good afternoon, Utah. Happy Thursday or happy Friday Eve. Before we get into the forecast, let's talk about the latest drought monitor that came out earlier this morning. We continue to make very good progress, and the important thing to note with this particular drought monitor update is that this includes the bulk of the wet weather that we saw last week. So last week, we were talking about 10% of the state and not in any drought category. That's now up to 31%. Also, at the beginning of this year, roughly 90% of the state was in severe drought. That's now down to 7%. So we still have some spots in moderate and severe drought, but we are looking pretty good when it comes to our drought situation. We just need to make sure that we keep on seeing some active weather, and we are seeing that active weather out there currently to completely change our pace compared to what we saw yesterday. And these were the high temperatures yesterday. We got to 78 in Salt Lake. We got to 61 in Logan. We got to 68 in Cedar City, 81 degrees in St. George. We're going to be a little bit away from those temperatures as we go through today, thanks to a cold front that's working its way through. Now in southern Utah, you're going to be a little bit closer to yesterday compared to your neighbors to the north and northern Utah. Right now, we're sitting at 37 degrees in Salt Lake City. Earlier this morning, around 4 o'clock this morning, we were in the 50s, but that cold front really changed things. We're sitting at 38 in Provo, 31 degrees in Logan, 59 in Vernal. And you can actually see where that cold front is, kind of stretching from Vernal all the way down towards Milford, and that cold front will continue to work its way down to the southeast as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon, because that stalled out front we were talking about yesterday finally has momentum from this trough that came in from the northwest. And as we get that daytime heating, more moisture coming in from the southwest ahead of the cold fronts, we're going to start to see more shower activity in the eastern portion of the state for the second half of the day. But in northern Utah, we have seen times of rain and snow. Cache Valley continues to see more times of snow. In Cache Valley, we actually saw a decent amount of snow. This was sent in by Have a Word 3 on Twitter in Hyde Park. And then as we go into Syracuse, our very own Nate Larson captured all those thick snowflakes falling down. The roadways, for the most part, down to our valley floors were looking okay just because of how warm it was recently. But we saw those slushy roads in Cache Valley. And then Barbie Sunderland captured this in Eden. Look at the deer off in the distance. So the Wasatch back and the Ogden Valley, more times of snow after seeing some warm temperatures over the last couple of days. But one good thing about seeing this snow and colder temperatures is this will help slow down that runoff that we've had. So we'll take any little bit that we can get when it comes to a little bit of relief there. Here's the live view from the Snow Basin snow stake. Still a lot of snow in the background, and it's a little hard to see here, but Snow Basin has picked up 2 inches of snow. It's not a lot, but I'm sure all the skiers and boarders will be happy about any fresh powder after these last couple of warm days. Meanwhile, in Moab, mostly cloudy skies above, a temperature of 65 degrees down below. And as we go throughout this afternoon, as that cold front continues to move into eastern Utah, not only are we going to have the chance of seeing wet weather, but we're also going to have the chance of a few thunderstorms. So something to keep in mind if you're east of I-15 for today. So for your regional forecast, daytime highs in northern Utah significantly cooler compared to what we saw yesterday, while in southern Utah, your daytime highs will run about 5 to 15 degrees below what you saw yesterday. But we will go ahead and zoom things in here, and you can find your city. We'll see daytime highs generally in the mid-40s along the Wasatch Front. We should be warming up just a little bit this afternoon as we get a little bit of clearing in the northern portion of the state. A daytime high of only 39 in Park City, and that best chance for wet weather through the second half of the day will generally be in the eastern portion of the state. In southwestern Utah, it looks like we'll stay mostly dry, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few showers as far south as Cedar City. But in St. George, partly cloudy and windy with a daytime high of 72, 70 degrees in Lake Powell, 64 degrees in Blanding. And we'll see a daytime high of 70 degrees in Hanksville. Let's time things out for you on the Futurecast beginning at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And the Futurecast showing in the next hour or so things calming down a little bit in northern Utah. But I do think that we'll see a little bit more even through the early stretch of the afternoon, as we're even seeing some lake enhancement right now. But as we go from this afternoon into the early stretches of this evening, the bulk of what we'll see will stretch from south central Utah through eastern Utah, more or less through Daggett and Uintah County. That will continue to be the case into tonight, but that best chance will migrate into the southeastern portion of the state. Then during the overnight hours, as that system pulls away, the chance for wet weather goes down. There will be a little bit of trailing energy that arrives tomorrow with some lingering moisture. Some isolated activity in northern Utah can't be ruled out, but high pressure will start to settle in. And as we go throughout this weekend, it's going to be abundantly sunny skies across the state, and our temperatures will be going on a warming trend all ahead of what could be another cool down by the middle of next week. And that's all reflected here in the 7-day forecasts, where St. George will be in the lower 70s for today. We'll be in the upper 60s tomorrow, which is actually a little bit below our seasonal average. Then it's middle 70s on Saturday, low 80s on Sunday, and then temperatures start to ease back down by by the middle of next week. Looking to stay mostly dry down in St. George. Then along the Wasatch Front, the chance of rain and snow, that best chances from now through around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then that chance will begin to go down into tonight. Isolated chance for our Friday. And then for your Saturday and Sunday, temperatures will be going on that warming trend near 70 degrees by our Sunday, low to mid 70s on Monday. All for another storm to bring some cooler temperatures and another chance for wet weather by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.